Welcome to Uncommon Analysis. Today I want to talk a little bit about this article in the New York Times, which has been creating a lot of stir in the blogosphere. New York Times article basically saying, will the U.S. ever be ready for a female president? Now, the Democrats are now saying, a lot of Democratic punditry, consultants, etc., are saying no. With the loss by Hillary and the loss by Kamala, they're saying no, America will never be ready, is not, or at least is not ready currently for a female president. And they interview a bunch of different people in this article, and I'm not going to go through all the things. But the funny thing I find about this and this discussion is Democrats are now saying a woman can't win, which I think is total nonsense. I believe a woman will eventually become president, but it's got to be a woman that's actually earned it and deserved it. What this article and others like it seem to ignore, or punditry seems to ignore, is the fact that Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris were both terrible candidates. Because these people lost means no woman could ever win in America. We're just too misogynistic for it. Yeah, I'm going to call nonsense on that one. For a couple of reasons. One, let's take a look at Hillary. Hillary Clinton was a political animal from day one. I mean, in the national politics, she was the first lady, right? That's how she kind of came to the national political level. But she was a political creature long before that. After the presidency ended and her humiliation, of which really is kind of comical anyway, because she knew her husband was running around. That was an understood agreement long before Monica Lewinsky happened. They handed her basically the Senate seat in New York. I mean, that wasn't really even an issue. She wasn't really a hard competition. She was going to win that. Any Democrat was going to win that, and everybody knew it. So they handed her a Senate seat, gave her that for a while, and then she was appointed to be the Secretary of State, which we'll let that go. And that was her background before running for president. The problem with Hillary was, while she was probably far more politically astute than Kamala Harris ever has been, she'd really never faced a hard campaign, and she was not a likable retail politician. She just was not. Her negatives were huge. She was not liked by a lot of the country. She had huge negatives. She was not a warm person. She was the complete antithesis of her husband, who, for all his flaws and faults, was very, very, very good at dealing with people and making people feel comfortable and at ease, and a good retail politician. She was not. She was a divisive figure, and just not a great candidate. She wasn't likable at all, and the polling all showed that. And she lost to Trump, unsurprisingly, for a lot of reasons. But that loss does not mean a woman cannot become president. And for Kamala Harris, well, Kamala Harris is a terrible politician from top to bottom. Her political instincts are non-existent, and kind of the same deal. She won some ham sandwich elections in California. She never faced any true challenges in her political career in terms of a strong election or a hard election. And they didn't even run a primary for her. Like when she ran in the primary in 2020, she didn't get a single vote. She didn't even last till Iowa. She was done. And then in this election, they just kind of wedged her in there, facing no primary as well. So, again, she was a terrible retail politician. Just terrible. If they want to try to blame those losses, and this is cope. We talked about this the other day in a video I did the other day about how the left just isn't cope because they can't seem to comprehend why they lost. I don't think they understand why they lost 16. They sure as hell don't seem like they understand why they lost 2024. They still seem to be in just complete denial about a lot of things. Kamala Harris was not going to lose. Kamala Harris had no chance of winning. Hillary Clinton probably had a better chance of winning, but where the country was and how she ran her campaign, Didn't happen. I didn't think it was going to happen either. The lane that Trump created for himself was brilliant. It was a lane that no established politician could have touched, because the powers that be that fund both these parties was never going to let somebody run on the items that Trump ran on in 2016, which gave him a clear path to the presidency. Hillary couldn't counter it. No Democrat could counter it. No establishment politician could counter it. And don't forget that Trump not only beat Hillary, he beat 18 Republicans on the way to their nomination, and he did it by basically picking out a lane that was very popular with the electorate, but that the Uniparty was never going to allow anybody to run on. Because if anybody had come up and said, we're going to talk about illegal immigration, we're going to talk about free trade, we're going to talk about these little towns that are being left behind and being destroyed because of these free trade agreements, etc., I will pull your funding. Your money will get dry up instantaneously. Trump was the only one that could have done it. So, and he did. He ran right through the Republicans, and then he ran right through the Democrats. So, take that for what you will. Also, let's face it, with Hillary, I mean, everybody may not remember, but there was a lot of accusations of hanky-panky, her just getting the nomination. I mean, Donna Brazile accused her of, having the primary rigged, as did Elizabeth Warren. These aren't surprising things here. This is actually Chris's article, which is kind of funny, because Chris is one of the people I saw commenting on that this time. Don Brazile and both there, Warren said the primaries rigged. They later walked back those statements, but I bet you most Democrats, a good portion of the Democrats, still believe that 16 was rigged for Hillary. And that's just where we are today. You had two less than great women run. And I know you can't criticize either one of them. Hillary because she's Hillary, and Kamala because she's a black woman, so therefore a black/Indian woman, so therefore she can do no wrong. But the reality is these were both terrible, terrible candidates. These were less than ideal candidates. The fact they wanted to make their campaign, particularly Hillary, simply about the fact she was a woman. That was played up and played up and played up, which was just silly. Identity politics to its nth degree. So, will a woman ever, is America ready to be for a woman president? I think so. I think it's got to be the right woman. A woman who's actually earned it, not a token box checker like Kamala was. And she can't be this unpopular, absolutely divisive figure like Hillary was. Just because those two women lost does not mean America will not vote for a woman. I bet you if Condoleezza Rice had run in this election against Kamala Harris, Condoleezza Rice would have won if that had been the election options. Hell, even Nikki Haley would have likely beaten Kamala Harris, though that's more debate. I believe most likely the first female president will almost certainly be a Republican, mainly because Republicans don't check boxes. When a woman runs for president that's truly, truly earned it and truly, truly deserving of it, and doesn't make a big deal about the fact she is a woman as one of her qualifications for becoming president. I mean, remember Hillary Clinton? I'm with her. It was all about the fact she didn't have a penis. That was one of her big selling points. If that's your modus operandi to try to win as a woman, you're going to lose most likely every time. When a woman runs because she's the better politician and she's the better option, she'll win. So far, we have not had a woman run who was the better option. It's that simple. But because they lost, now Democrats are all, we can't run a woman. America won't elect it. I guarantee you there will be a female president. That's just a matter of when. And I would bet you pretty solidly that it'll almost certainly be a Republican female that wins for the first time. Because Democrats are just they're, particularly with Kamala, they're just checking boxes. They're these are tokens. Oh, she deserves it because she's a black and she's a woman or whatever. Not because she's the best politician. She's a terrible politician. She's a terrible candidate. Never won a single vote at the national level on anything. Ever. And yet you're going to run her as president? So that's kind of my thoughts on the matter. We will eventually have one. It'll almost certainly be a Republican. And it'll be a Republican because when the Republican finally has a woman run on the ticket at the top of the ticket, it's because that woman has earned it and deserved it, not because they game the system to put her at the top, not because she checked the right boxes for the narrative they wanted to tell. So when a woman deserves it and earns it, she'll be there. And I know that I'll get attacked for being sexist for making that statement, but that's the truth. So far, the two women that have run at the top of the ticket have not been the better option. One had no business being the nominee, and the other was not a good retail politician. It was a hugely divisive figure. So Democrats and Democratic activists can say no woman can win. Let them. I think they'll be proven wrong at some point, but it most likely will not be when a woman. It will probably most likely not be when a Democrat woman by a Democrat woman, because Democrats unfortunately engage in tokenism and identity politics rather than making sure the right person is in the best and right person is the candidate being run. All right, that's all I got for today. Agree, disagree. Comments are there for you. I hope, if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, click that notification bell. I appreciate everybody. Have a great day, and I am out.